Hi, I'm Dr. Rob Williams of the Air Force Research Lab and the research director for the Discovery Lab. We decided to make this short video to include in future emails to those who we've invited to our 1000 Avatar Virtual Technology Conference that we're holding at the end of September, to give those of you that we've invited as guest speakers and attendees to get a feel for the program that the VTecCon will be sponsored by. Again, I'm with the Air Force Research Lab, headquartered at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. I'm actually a senior researcher within the Air Force. A quick background introducing myself. I'm the research director for this program, the Discovery Lab, out of which we execute a year-round research internship program that we call Year at the Edge. And we have a summer component that we call Summer at the Edge that averages about 100 students, up to about 120 students or more. And one of the main things that we've learned from that is that even with a 100-student program, there's not enough students to do all the great things that we need done. And there are a lot of students out there that would love to have the kind of opportunity that we offer, and we don't have the floor space and so forth. And so for that and other reasons, we created this virtual environment that we call Deep Horizons. It's a research grid. And within that framework, our intent is to expand our 100-student program into a 1,000-student program within the constraints of a 100-student budget. That sounds kind of strange and maybe even on the borderline of impossible, but we've been doing this for a couple of years, and the purpose of the VTecCon is to demonstrate the value of it and to also make this opportunity known to students and professors across the country. So if you're a professor or a researcher who've been invited to speak at our VTecCon, we hope that you would accept that because we believe it will be a great opportunity to explore collaboration, but also open up a window into the possibilities and opportunities for students across the country. Our focus is actually first and second year undergraduates, but we do reach back to high school students and even middle school students through partnerships. And as you might guess, many of our first and second year undergraduate students continue on as third and fourth year and even grad school. So we do have students that are in grad school now that actually started with us as freshmen and sophomores who are now in positions of leadership. So with the remainder of the video, I'd like to kind of give you a feel for some of the things that we do in our program. I want to keep it short as a courtesy to all of you, so we can't go into a lot of details into it. But even though our emphasis for this outreach initiative is virtual world, we do have a number of technologies that we have our students working on to explore how these technologies could be used to, if you will, at the risk of sounding corny to some of you, make this a better world. And so one of the areas is robotics. What you see here are two double bots, robotic telepresence technologies. One of the major elements of our program is cooperative autonomy. How do you get, robots not only build them, but actually, work together to achieve some sort of a mission? And what I decided to do was show you a project that some of our students worked on during some of their down period, if you will. And what you see here is a project by a couple of students to create a studentized version of the Telebot using 3D printing, a Raspberry Pi, and as you can see here, an Android mobile phone to act as a device that a student could control to participate in meetings using the internet for communications. And along the lines of 3D printing, we actually have some students that have actually 3D printed and flown a small UAV with the onboard electronics, aerospace and mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, and so forth. The key thing is since this is an Air Force program, safety is a major focus of our program, and so these airplanes that were designed and 3D printed from scratch by the students had to go through a very rigorous flight safety review board, and to kind of as a testament to the quality of the students we have in our program, they were able to successfully pass the safety review board and recently flew this as their graduation exercise this summer. Some other examples of projects that will be part of the VTecCon will be human-computer interfaces along with autonomy and a number of the other areas. And so I've asked a couple of our student leaders to come in and, kind of show you some of the technologies in the human-computer interface, Google Glass and the Oculus Rift. So Lydia and Shay, if you could just briefly describe.
Some of the project applications that students are working on with the Google Glass is aircraft maintenance to help assist those working on aircraft to easily retrieve information and send for ordering parts, and also medical information and integration to ease of access for stats.
Okay, Shay.
And so some of the students are also using the Oculus Rift here, and that is to make an extremely immersive experience in both our virtual world, such as for Deep Horizons, as well as for telepresence. So, for instance, there is a project that actually has the telebots being controlled by a Oculus Rift, and the viewer being able to see what the robot sees inside the Rift itself.
So we wanted to keep this video short, but to give you a feel for the strategic initiative within the Air Force Research Lab that you are being invited to participate in, either as a guest speaker or as a student. One of the major outcomes of this virtual technology conference to be held at the end of September is the desire on our part to explore collaborations with professors and researchers from industry as well as students as part of our 1,000 student research campus initiative to identify projects that we might actually work on together during the summertime with some of the professors and some of the industry leaders out there, and then obviously an opportunity for the students that might be attending the VTecCon to have an opportunity to get a feel for the range of opportunities and how we go forward to see if any of these project areas might be of interest to you. We have restricted the range of projects that we are going to, project areas or technology areas, to just a limited few of 6 or 7, but we actually, our portfolio spans much, much more than that. But we invite you to attend this conference to get a feel for our program. And even though there might not be tracks covering your area of interest, during the interaction that we are expecting, you may discover as a student that there's an area that you're interested in, or you may discover as a professor or an industry researcher that there might be areas of collaboration that we might entertain in the year to come. And so with that, I want to thank you all for taking the time. We hope to see you there.